Hey guys, it's Mr. Hing here. I hope you're all well. Today what we're going to be looking at is the standard tan graph, okay, and how to draw it more specifically. Right, so you'll see if I quickly zoom out, you'll see in my previous videos, which I'm going to compile and put in a playlist. If you can't find it, I'm just going to put it under trigonometry graphs under grade 10. Okay, so look out for those videos. In the previous two videos I did a how to draw a standard sine graph. I also looked at very important points when it comes to trigonometry graphs. Then we looked at our cos graph, how to draw a standard one, and then today I'm going to be looking at how to draw a tan graph, which is a bit different to how to draw a cos and a sine graph. Okay, and then the next video we're going to be looking at those four important terms. If you'll just bring your eyes to this little red mark over here, highlighter, so we'll be looking at domain, range, period, and amplitude. Okay, and those are very important. They will pop up in your test time and time again. So let's have a look and see, how do we go ahead and manage a tan graph, a standard one? Okay, so let's get started. You'll see initially, guys, that what I have done, I've drawn these weird dotted lines over here, okay? And you'll see why I've done that. And the other important part to see is that the intervals that I have are in 45 degrees. So 45, 90, 135, 180, etc., all the way to 360. And the same thing for the negative values. Again, why did I draw from negative 360 to 360? Because it's asking me to do that over here. Okay. Right, let's get straight into how do we draw the graph. Okay, so let's have a look together. Let's just go over here. So what you're going to do, remember, I say you please use your calculator. It's really, really important. So we are going to do the tan of x graph. So now, instead of having x, we want to know of the different intervals that we have across our x-axis here. So we're going to put it in 0 in place of x, 45 in place of x, 90 in place of x, and that's what I've done here. So let's put that in our calculator. You can get your calculator out. So write tan of 0 and then press equals and we'll get 0. So we go ahead and we literally put a point there when, because remember, this is like negative, this is positive, and 0 is right here, right over here. So when our x value is 0, that interval, our y value is also 0. So we must put a point over there. So this is over here, this is our first point over there. Right, good. Let's go to our tan 45. Now, Mr. Hing, why are we doing 45? In the previous videos, we just did 90, 180, etc. Well, when we are doing a tan graph, the 45 intervals, every 45 is really important. So that's why I do it like that. Or that's why we should do it like that. So tan 45, put in your calculator, you'll get the answer of 1. So when we go across here to 45, to 45 over here, we go up and we draw our little dot over there because we should be getting 1. And then now this is something you have not been introduced to for the sine and cos graph. When you put in, because remember our next interval is 90, when you put 90 over here, when you put in 90 over here into your calculator, please do that for me and look at what you get. You'll get a mathematical error. Now, why that happens is because when your standard tan graph exists, your graph will always go towards and approach this 90-degree mark. However, it will never ever touch or cross. I like using the words touch. It will never touch the 90-degree mark, okay? So that is actually what we call an asymptote. So the 90-degree mark is an asymptote. It's where the graph will always approach but never touch this point over here. So how do you go and how do you represent that when needing to draw your graph? How do you represent it? So you're just going to draw an arrow over there, okay? And then you start joining the graph. So you're going to go over here and you'll see that it needs to keep going up, and that is what happens with the tan graph. It will continue to go up, 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 up forever, but it will never touch the sorry, I didn't mean to draw that line. It will never touch the 90-degree mark. Okay, so you need to understand that and get that in your head, and you'll see I've put other dotted lines. Now, why did I do that? Because you'll see once we put it into the calculator, these are also areas where the graph will approach but will never touch. So let's continue. Hence the green or the arrows over here. I just put arrows over here. I'm not going to write everything in. You just need to put it in your calculator by yourself. So let's do that together. So the tan of 135 will give me it will give me -1. The tan of 180 will give me 0. The tan of 225 will give me 1. And then the tan of 270, it's a mathematical error, but we can see the graph will approach. So we can almost put an arrow like that. As well as the 90, when it comes down, it will always go down, but it will never touch the 90. So we're going to put an arrow like that. If you did not understand that, just rewatch or rewind and just see how I explained that, okay? And then from 315, we are going to get, I'm doing this in real time, so I just wanted to put in the calculator. We're going to get -1, and then 360 is 0. Okay, let's move on to the other side, and then we can join all the dots. So -45, I'll get -1, and then because it's -90, it will never touch. When you put in your calculator, you'll see you get a mathematical error. So we're just gonna put a arrow like that. So when we join, I can even join it now. When we join, you'll see that it will continue to go down, but it will continue to go down and never touch the -90-degree mark. So if we continue to put it in our calculator, substitute x, -135, we're going to get 1. Here we'll get 0, -180, -225, we'll get -1 over here. And then again, it will never touch, so we just put an arrow. The same thing over here, it will never touch, so we just put an arrow. And then over here, we'll get 1, -315. We'll put an arrow over here because it will never touch, and then -360 like that. And now we can go ahead and join everything together. So it will go like that. It will continue to go up, but never touch. That was not a great line, but it will never touch the -270 mark. And then we do the same over here. Go down. Sorry guys, I'm not the best at the drawing parts. Well, on the little pad that I have. So we'll go here, we join that, and it'll continue to go up. And then let's join these. So we go down, and it won't touch the 90 mark. We go here, and it'll continue to go up and not touch the 270 mark. And then over here, it will go to 315 at -1 and continue to go down. Sorry, I didn't add an arrow over there. All right, guys, that is our tan graph. So I know it's like when I was in grade 10, it definitely took a while for me to comprehend and get it straight away, but it just comes with practice. And yeah, go ahead and practice, draw your own set of axes, and go practice how to draw a standard tan graph. So in the next few videos, we're gonna introduce you to 4 important words that they'll continue asking, and we'll actually apply it to these graphs over here. Okay, but with all of that being said, I'll see you in the next one, guys.